All right, beloved. First of all, we want to give honor to the Most High God. Like always, the Lord God of heaven, the great God that keepeth covenants of mercies for them that love him and observe his commandments. And then to the Son, who is our King, who was exalted to be a prince and a savior for us, an apostle, all right, of our profession, whom the Father used to reconcile us back to himself. Them, everybody that's with us, elders, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, those online, all the partakers of the heavenly calling. We thank God for each and every one of you. All right. Today we're going to continue our chapter reading. Okay, we'll continue our chapter reading, and we are now in Baruch. Baruch, I hope I'm saying that right. Baruch chapter 4. Okay. We are in Baruch chapter 4. All right, brother. We're going to start from verse 1. I'm not even going to do a recap because, like I said, it should be getting in order online, so you can just go to chapter 3 and kind of hear it. All right, let's just go to chapter 4. And if y'all have anything to add, like I said, just you can unmute. If you want to put your hand up, whatever, to get the attention. You can add whatever you want. I'm going to kind of just read it for because when I start adding and precept, it can take a while. So I'm going to limit myself, but that does not limit anybody. I want to hear things y'all have if y'all have anything to share. All right, Baruch chapter 4. Baruch chapter 4. Brother Kai, when you ready, we'll start at verse 1. We'll do, and let's just do 2 verses.
Okay. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
All right. So I love how it starts. This is, so it ain't even a guessing because we talked about a little bit last week. This is the book of the commandments of God. Even though they're writing it, beloved, this thing is inspired by God. Not the commandments of Jeremiah, the commandments of Baruch, all these things. This is the book of the commandments of God. And the law that what? Endureth how long? Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the next part. All they that keep it shall come to life. This is why. It's the same recipe, beloved. The same recipe. You keep it, you'll get to what? You'll go to life. Same thing we read throughout the whole book. But such as leave it shall die. The wages of sin is death. The wages of going against what God's saying is death. We can show you that in the first 5 books. We can show you that in the middle of the book. We can show you that when Christ on the scene. We can show you that at the end. All right? This book is keep reiterating the same point so that hopefully we can receive it. Right? You keep hearing something over and over. Hopefully you'll get it. Turn to old Jacob and take hold of it. All right? So Jacob, talking about this, y'all, we can take hold of it. Why? Because we have that book. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. So when you're taking hold of this book, right, not just reading it, but you're taking hold of it and living this, walking in these scriptures, what happens? The presence of the light, and you're walking in the light. And what? That thou mayest be illuminated, so you can be a light. While Christ comes in saying what? Let your light so shine. What's the shining? What's the light that he's dealing with? Ain't that we turn to a light bulb, but what? That righteousness that we're walking in. The more we're walking in, the more we're walking in, and that's when you understand he's walking in the spirit, the more you will illuminate in the spirit. Okay? And even there's some future aspects of that as well. But we're not going to touch on that today. All right, let's keep going. Unless anybody had anything to add.
Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us.
Give not that honor to another. All right. He gave us an honor. All right. And our honor was supposed to be what? That would be leading, but not just, oh, we're going to be over other people. Not just that, the aspect of we are going to get God's word and have that knowledge to be able to help and teach other people. We are going to be the ministers of the earth. Okay. Minister means to serve. Yes, we are going to elevate us, but we understand when it comes to God, when the one he elevates is the one he makes what? The biggest servant. But some people forget that. They were, oh, we this and this, everybody, almost like everybody throws servitude. See, you're thinking like the nations think. But Christ already showed you and already told the disciples. What did he tell them? He said, don't y'all try to get, authority and mastery like the Gentile, like the other people do it. He said, no, when it comes to this, the one that's going to be the greatest, which is good, you can be great, is going to be doing the most servitude. So think about that, beloved. So if he made Israel a great nation, guess what? We have the biggest work to do. We're supposed to be the biggest servants. But some people don't understand the scriptures. They polluted it. Okay? They have tried to manipulate it for their own selfish gain. And it says what? Oh, Israel, happy are ye? Are we? For things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us. Okay. So we have the knowledge and understanding that the Most High is sprinkled to us. All right. We don't got everything that he has, but he has given us his commandments, which is giving us a peek in his mind and how he thinks and how he do things. Okay. We have that advantage. So that honor that he's given us, he bestowed, that love he gave to us, don't just throw it away. You say, don't throw it away. Don't make him give it to somebody. No, do what you're supposed to do. Okay. All right. 5.
Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies.
Yeah, that verse 6. I need to post that on our Facebook. So there's a couple of these verses I need to post or whatever, right? Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Be of good cheer. I know you're in a bad condition, you're in captivity, but be of good cheer. He said, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. All right. I know it might seem that way. We see them, brothers and sisters, go here, but the intent wasn't to destroy us, but to teach us. Okay. It said, but because ye moved God to wrath, we caused this predicament upon us. We sinned, and that's what sold us. All right. Into what? Serving. And I ain't talking about serving in the sense that we're supposed to be ministering, but in this bondage under other nations. We weren't supposed to desire to be under them. But because we didn't do what thus saith the Lord, put us in this condition. All right. So, but because ye moved God to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. So the Most High gave us unto our enemies. Because like I said before, that is part of the reward of being disobedient. Okay, you don't want me as your God? Okay, I'm going to take my hedge and my protection around you, right? And now you're going to be open and vulnerable to the other nations. Because you thought you was all good and you was this and that, and you what protected yourself. You thought it was you. But God said, no, that was me. But y'all didn't want to deal with me, so I took all those benefits to let you realize how it feels to be without me. You don't like it, do you? And then that's when we start crying back to him and start realizing, Lord, we were foolish. We were stupid. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Hold on, Kyle. Let me let him in.
I let him in. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me get back to my screen. Okay. It says, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God. Mm. Ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
All
For
right.
when she
So,
saw
oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You read the next one.
uh, for when she saw the wrath of God coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, God hath brought upon me great mourning.
Mhm. So it's about to get a little bit deeper stuff, but that first, but I just want us to still think about that verse 6. He is explaining how we get in these conditions. We were sold to the nations, not for our destruction, right? Because you understand that even when Solomon was talking about when we go into captivity, those kind of things, he said, if we bethink ourselves in that condition and cry to the Most High, then he can start overturning. Okay. So it's for us uh to get into that remembrance mode, getting us to remember the God we're supposed to be serving, what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. But it was not intended to destroy us. Okay. Um, but it says what? For you provoked. How do we provoke them? That made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God. And that's still some of the same thing we're doing today. Sacrificing the devils. It ain't even, well, I didn't mean to, I didn't know. It's still sacrificing to them. This is why it behooves us to get in the scriptures. Because some things look innocent, but it's sacrifice to the devils. This is what our praise, our worship, they call holidays, but holy days. These kind of things you got to think about. The ways that we carry ourselves is sacrifices. Think about it. Every day I'm sacrificing. You got to choose which master you sacrificing to. My sacrifice to God or to the devil? If you ain't sure, that's why we need to get the clarity. Go in the scriptures and see. Ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. Okay. So when you look at Jerusalem, things of that nature, sometimes it can be talking about, the land is what he's set apart, sanctified for righteousness and holiness to dwell. Even though the people, we got wicked and everything. But Jerusalem can be referred to as the land, right, that he chose. Jerusalem can be talk about Israel, right, as a whole, those kind of things. So you just have to look at the context to see exactly the point of view that the writer's dealing with it, okay, or the spirit using it for. Jerusalem that nursed you. All right, think about nursing that brought you up. Okay, we supposed to be nursed, supposed to be fed off of that, but of course we didn't. For when she saw the wrath of God coming upon you, she said, "Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion." All right, all you that's there, y'all need to listen up, pay attention. God have brought upon me great mourning. All right, so it's about to be some lamentation because something bad is going to happen. Let's keep going. Verse 10.
For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With
Mm-hmm.
joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
Keep going.
That no man rejoice over me, a widow, and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of God.
How did we get out of our land?
Hmm?
I don't think nobody just took us out of our land. No, no. The only reason we got out that land is because we sinned continuously. All
Hmm.
right. That was part of the package deal for doing the commandment. Do you say what? We say when we write in the laws of Moses, all right, y'all gonna do this, don't do this, y'all gonna do this, don't do this. Because I'm preparing you to what? Get into that land, and you don't want to be doing the things you were doing back in Egypt and whatever places you pick the stuff up. You don't do that when you get in there. All right. That land is supposed to be set apart for a set apart people. So certain things, when you look at the law, talk about defiling the land and kind of things, that's what that symbol do. It can start defiling the land. Okay, with the actions and the conduct that we were dealing with. Okay, like I said, you gotta look at it figuratively. But no, even naturally, you could defile the land, right? Even now, with the land. We're throwing things in there. We putting, the things that's messing up the plants and everything. The land's supposed to naturally yield certain things, but we're doing things, not giving us rest and all those kind of things. That's defiling, mess up the land as well. So the Most High was also teaching us agricultural ways to grow it, how to deal with things, giving things a rest, all these kind of things. So we get in there, we know how to treat the land well. Okay, so like I said, it has different dimensions we can talk about with it, but just for the most part, we see that what? Because you departed from the law of God. This is why this is coming upon you. Now Jerusalem going to be forsaken. The children were taken what? Children were taken away from her. We supposed to be what? Have a generation and generation and generations in that land. But no, we got taken away. And some other people then took over the land. Okay. But we'll get it back at the end. Let's keep going.
They knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline and his righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting have brought upon them.
I just
For
want
he
to
had brought,
grab that one point from 13.
okay.
He knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments. A lot of times we talk about knowing it. It wasn't that, oh, I didn't know this. They weren't doing it. All right. When you're living it, it's almost like you don't know it. Okay. It's like the Sabbath day. Remember the Sabbath day. You're forgetting. Your actions tell you if you remember it. Keep it. Okay. So when you're not, that's why he's saying they didn't know it. They didn't walk in it, right? Nor trod in the path of discipline in his righteousness. And discipline is very important. I was thinking about doing a lesson with this. Maybe future I might. But discipline is very important. A lot of us come to God conditionally because something may be bad happening, run away from something. A lot of times it's motivation. Motivation can be good, but if I would think about it, discipline is stronger. I'd rather have sometimes discipline than the motivation. Because sometimes the motivation can come and go. It's the season, right? But discipline is even when I don't feel like it, I'm still going to do what I'm supposed to do, right? Because sometimes, beloved, you in this walk for a while, when you first start, it's that motivation. You doing everything, you do that. But a lot of people that's just stay on motivation, sometimes they can get weary and well doing these kind of things, sometimes they fade off. But that person that's disciplined, nah. Okay. That discipline is a very powerful word. That discipline had Daniel praying 3 times a day, whether he was in the mood or not. Right? That discipline is what's going to keep us, beloved. That discipline in the Sabbath, coming every week. I know sometimes you think it's certain, but it's discipline, the spirit of discipline he put upon us. Okay? Like I said, motivation have its space. But when the motivation ain't there, beloved, you need to fall on that discipline. Okay? Even when you come to class, there's going to be some classes like, oh my God, that was a good class. Oh my God, I made it. I'm going to do this forever. Then there's some classes that might rub you the wrong way. You're like, I don't know about this no more. All right? So I always talk about this because a lot of times, a lot of feelings, emotions, these kind of things, that ain't supposed to be led by the feelings and emotion aspect. Like I said, they go back and forth. We need steady, it's going in the straight path. And that's where that discipline is at. Okay. Being led by the spirit, not by emotions and feelings. Okay. All right. So nor trod the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Okay. Let's keep going. 15.
For he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation of a strange language, who neither reverend old man, nor pity child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters.
So once again, won't go to it. Like I said, you can go to Deuteronomy 28. It talks about that as well. Saying how when you doing the curses, when you don't listen to me, I'll bring a nation from afar. I'll bring it with a language you don't know. He spells it out. Why? Because he wants you to know this is directly correlated to you not doing what thus saith the Lord. I don't want you to think it's coincidence. I don't want you to think it's an accident. I want you to know it's me that's doing it. But he also wants to know, beloved, it's not for your destruction. All right? But if you can't realize it in your captivity and cry out to him, then it's going to be your personal destruction. But it's not over, beloved. If we can, like the scripture say, bethink ourselves and go back to the commandments of God. All right? So this is spelled out, a nation, shameless nation, right? Strange language. And they don't what? They don't have mercy on the old man or the child. They don't have no pity. And sometimes even you got to understand certain places, sometimes they don't reference that. With us, when we are in righteousness, we're supposed to, give that honor to the older man. All right. We understand child is, young, sometimes they do dumb things, but have that mercy for them. Okay. But everybody don't go by the same rules, beloved. All right. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies.
Read that again, Brother Cock. I don't think they heard that. Verse 18.
For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies.
You're not delivering yourselves.
Uh-uh.
It's him. Even when we read the Maccabees, beloved, let's not get it twisted. Judas Maccabeus was a vessel. But if the Most High didn't want us to be delivered, I don't care what he would have did. I don't care how great of a warrior he was. Okay? So it's only from the Most High that could deliver you out of the plagues. Like I said, part of curses will what? The plagues will cleave to you. Think about cleaving. Somebody cleaving, they holding on to you. So when you go left, they going left. When you going right, they going right. These plagues are going to cleave to us. I don't care. You try to run over there, they still cleaving to you. And you'll see people, well, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go overseas over here. The plagues is still following you right over there. They get right on the plane with you and travel right over there with you. They going right on the boat and going right with you. You can't escape it. You got the wrong mindset. You try to escape the plagues, thinking the plagues come from the area. No, it comes from disobedience. And that spirit is going to what? Attract those curses and plagues to you, and they go wherever you go because the Most High is putting on you. And there's nowhere you can hide from him. I can hide from a nation. You can't hide from him. He's saying, I put the plagues on you. So if the Most High put the plagues and curses on you, guess who's the only one that can take it off? You got it, the Most High. Some people, it takes 20, 30 years to understand this, 40, 50 years. Some people never get it their whole life. But beloved, the Most High is letting us know where it comes from. Okay? So it says, for he brought these plagues upon you, will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. So until he do it, won't be done. That's why we have to cry to him. We go to him. Okay? He can give you favor in captivity, give you mercy. He can do a lot of things, beloved. Right? And even deliverance that comes by him. Let's keep going. Verse 19. Like I said, if anybody got anything, please let me know. I just don't see none on the chat or anything, so that's why I'm just keep going.
Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I had put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days.
All right. So I put off my clothing of peace. Even be in the land, that what? Those commandments and everything is so we can live in peace. Beloved, every society that's functioning, they might not have all of it, but they have some of the main commandments we have. Definitely, you're dealing with those bottom five that you have to do to your common man. You take those away, you're not having peace. When you're just killing, stealing, murder, you're allowing that to go, you're not going to have peace. All right? This is when we talk about the law. It's not even, I want to say that deep, but I want you to understand, every society that's functioning as prosperous, it has to have some kind of rules. Without rules, it's just going to be chaos. Anytime there's chaos, because it don't work. You have to have some kind of structure. Okay? So the same thing with Most High. You got that. The other nations, they don't have the same kind of commandments thing, but they have rules and guidelines they got to go by because they know if you don't, it's just going to be chaos. It's going to be anarchy. But I put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. All right. So we should understand with sackcloth, definitely with us, that was what we put on for mourning. All right. And a lot of times we will fast with the sackcloth. So that was like an outward sign to show that we're mourning. So this is what they're saying. I put off the clothing of peace. There's not a literal clothing of peace, but it's talking about figurative. All right. I will cry. All right. See, put the sackcloth on, and what you're supposed to be doing. I will cry into the everlasting in my days. All right. And if you're really going through something, beloved, you don't have to put on the sackcloth aspect. All right. But because Christ kind of showed us with that. You don't have to do that outward mourning, right? But you can go to your secret closet and cry to the Most High. Cry out to him, to give you peace in whatever capacity that he gives it. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come upon me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
You left the land. It wasn't because of a good thing. It was bad. Or the land's crying. Jerusalem, they figured he talking about Jerusalem. Y'all got taken, captivity. They ripping us from our land and all that kind of stuff. So he said, you left with, with weeping and mourning. It was crying. Sad to see you go. Because he's saying, guess what? The Most High was also going to restore you. And when you come back, it'll be what? With joy and gladness. Okay, so we see the same kind of thing. You're going to see the things that we read in here, you see in, even in Revelation, it's still some parallel things because it's talking about being in captivity and being delivered. All right, so you'll see certain phrases and everything that's in other spots in the Bible. Okay, but we know because the Most High does it all the time. All right, we get in captivity, then we cry out to him, and he delivers us. All right, let's keep going.
It says, for as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Hey, where you at? I think I moved. No, go to 24.
Oh, okay, my bad. I skipped way down. I had my eyes on that one. It says, like as now the neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
All right, they seen you, the people around, the nations around, they seen y'all get captured and taken and all that stuff. But guess what? They're going to be your witnesses when you come back with the brightness of the everlasting Father. All right? Read.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thy enemy has persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies.
Be my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God. So, beloved, be patient. What do you mean be patient? Yeah, patience dealing with waiting, right? But also, we supposed to be, when they talk about patience, we ain't supposed to be sitting in, oh, we just got to wait. No, you got to be doing what thus saith the Lord. That is showing your patience because you understand that what? It's only going to be a season. The Most High is going to deliver us. Okay? So that's the patience of the saints, right? Read that in Revelation, patience of the saints. Okay? But we have to make sure we're doing what thus saith the Lord. That's our patience. That's how we're showing faith that we understand that the Most High has put this upon us. And he has a time for us to be in this season. And then when his time's up, we'll be delivered. For thy enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shall tread upon his neck. Right? So the whole flipping thing around. You see that in Revelation, right? Those that in captivity shall go into captivity. Those that kill the sword, all that kind of stuff. This is basically talking about judgment. All right. You did this, the just balance. Now they're gonna get this. All right, let's keep going.
My delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies.
Mhm.
Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
Call upon him, cry unto him. All right. He will remember you. Remember, I told you that remembering, we read that in Exodus. Like I said, we read in different spots, these classes, but you see it's the same kind of language, the same kind of talk. He said, well, we was crying to Egypt. He said, what? God remembered us, right? We start crying out, he remember us. Remember the covenant that he gave to our forefathers and everything. Okay. So this is why we say to do these things so what? We could be in remembrance. Okay. He won't forsake us. Let's keep going.
For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so be in return, seek him 10 times more.
Read this verse again. This is the other verse I was thinking about posting.
For as it was your mind to go astray from God.
It was your mind. It was your decision. You fully went to this because you knew better. You might not know everything, but you knew I should be doing this, and you said, I'm going to do it. And we was doing that as a people and a nation. All right? It's in our mind to go straight from God. There was no, oops, I didn't know, and I went straight from God. He don't work that way. Don't let nobody be tricking you fully. Nope, nope, nope. There were some things that our forefathers didn't understand. I can say that. They didn't have full knowledge with everything, maybe. And that's even strange because I think if they didn't, they could they can consult the Most High. They willingly went astray. Okay. And things we didn't know or do things perfectly, I will say we have scriptures where what? Forefathers can go to the Father. Lord have mercy. We're trying. Most High wasn't throwing them in there because they was trying. They were willingly going against it. Okay. So just like it was our mind to go against the Most High, it says what?
So being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Let's go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
You was out in that world, you was giving them that energy, right? I remember God was talking about a while ago. You in that world, man, you half sleepy, still going into sin. You drive and you have all the faith in the world, driving up to get here, you're doing all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get to God, now we all reserve. Now we want to give a half effort. Now we want to be, no. Give the same energy, not the same energy, give more and more energy because you know the truth now. You had no excuse when you was trying to get to that concert. Get there no matter what. You didn't care what family said about the artist because you loved them. You was going to do it and you ignore all that stuff. But as soon as we come to God, now we become sensitive. Oh, but the family just see your love for God gotta be greater. See, when you love something, you treat it totally different. And this is why Christ was getting to the Pharisees and stuff, the Sadducees. He would call things like you hypocrites. Why? Because if you can understand, you will do something here and the same thing. It's basically the same thing, and you can't understand it. And that's why he gives these things. Things you love, think about it. Everybody just think about that. Think about something you just love. Number one thing you love. It's something you can't live without. It's something that's on your mind. It's something you always worry about pleasing, right? When I'm talking about love something. Now compare that to the Most High. And see if it's greater. How does it measure up? Okay. So this is something I want to really, if you now you in this truth, go 10 times harder. It's like, oh, it ain't that serious. And you could give a break and everything. But when I was doing other things that I would go hard on it. When I was in my sports, I would push this body to, when you heavily doing things, you'll push it to almost near death, right? You're studying these things. You're always trying to hear about it, surround yourself with it, surround your people. You manage and maneuver your whole life. You adjust it to go around the thing you love. And people that didn't love it or in that circle, sometimes what? They just kind of get discarded. I ain't saying discard people, but this is my focus. This is where my energy's at. If you want my attention, you got to be where my love is at. So the same thing with him, beloved. And this is the good thing. When people say, God knows my heart, he does. But you understand that that's an indictment to you. He knows your heart. And he's trying to let us know. He said, yeah, I know your heart, but I don't think you know it. When we come to the Most High, serve, place it 10 times more. This is the status. What we got to understand, beloved. This is how you talk about redeeming the time. This is how you redeem the time. Yeah, I'm doing years in the world, I spend most of my time and said, blah, 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 30, 40 years. I can't possibly live 34 years to clean up. No, I just have to go harder with the time I have. Every day there's something where I got to improve. Right? Do something. Just be better every day. It don't make he gonna wipe all that stuff out. And that don't even matter, really, to be honest. But let's go 10 times more, beloved. When you go 10 times more, you definitely don't have excuses and all this stuff. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
For ye have brought these plagues upon you, shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation.
All right, everlasting joy, beloved. Okay, with your salvation. So the one that bring the plagues is the one that can bring the salvation. You should know who that is. Let's keep going.
Take good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall.
Yeah, so take a good heart, O Jerusalem. Listen, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. All right. As I said, we got a couple different names. Israel, Jacob, Jerusalem, righteous. We got a lot of different names. Okay. But he gave us that for a reason. The same one that gave you that name is going to be the same one that delivered you. Okay. So now our problem is we're always looking for all these kind of deliverers to come instead of focusing on main one, God we serve. All right, let's keep going.
Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable was she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
Go on.
For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning.
That's what a lot of times it happens, beloved. That pride, not just with us, even with the other nation, that pride start feeling themselves. And then what? The Most High bring that destruction and humble. It says pride come before what? A great fall. And you nation that start taking over and all that stuff, sometimes they don't understand why. They think it was them, right? Now, oh, it's me. I did this. Great Babylon that I built. I like, silly rabbit, I'm in control of this thing. You just a vessel. I could have chose any nation to do what you did. I could get any nation to take over. I want you to realize that. With those nations that take over, he's like, I just chose you. But it's the Most High that does it. Okay? So anything, nobody really boasts or anything. It's the Most High. He chooses the one that's going to be the one that oppresses. Okay? But yeah, let's keep going. Go into that. Let's keep going. Let's finish this up.
Let's see. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own children. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. Fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. Lo, Thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God.
So the fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, right? Most High will send it because that's dealing with what? The destruction. Okay, he's going to destroy it so good, it's going to be what? The habitation of devils. And what? Jerusalem look towards the east, hold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. And what's coming? The son's going to come back. They're going to be brought back. By the what? By the word of the Holy One. Rejoicing. What are they going to be doing? Rejoicing in the glory of God. That's the redemption. That's the salvation. All right. It is where we received a lot of, we know with salvation, it's not, you have to see the time period what salvation is, right? So salvation is almost like a deliverance. So think about when we go in captivity, we get delivered. That's a form of salvation. Okay. So we experience a couple of different aspects of redemption, salvation, or being delivered from our enemies. Okay. So once again, with Baruch and Jeremiah time, when we was in that, we did get somewhat delivered from them. Who was the king? That was still Babylon, right? I think it was Babylon during that time. Okay. But you'll see that often be in captivity. We'll cry out to God, we'll get delivered. You start messing up, get into another captivity, cry out to God, get delivered. Get high-minded again, get captivity, cry to God, get delivered. Right. And that cycle kind of happens until the end. Okay. And we're at the end phase of it where we're gonna get delivered, and then it's going to be established. Okay. We'll not have to worry about this kind of cycle happening. All right, beloved, that is Baruch chapter 4. That is Baruch chapter 4. Did anybody have any questions or comments before we close out? I hope we learned something from there. I mean, from today's chapter, there's some gems in there, some little quotes that I like from here as well. Right? Sometimes I'll be forgetting them, and you start reading the chapter, I'm like, oh, that's where that was at. Right? So all praises, beloved, all praises. With that, we'll end it.